Welcome students. This is subject of business economics, last unit, that is unit 7, factor pricing 2. Next in the series, we are going to discuss the concept of profit. What is a profit? There are different views among the economists. Sometimes those views are conflicting also. Some economists are of the opinion that profit is nothing but the wages earned by the entrepreneur. He has put in his skills and knowledge in his enterprise, and he has to be rewarded for that enterprise, and so profits are looked upon as wages. Some other economists are of the opinion that the two functions that the entrepreneurs has to take, one is the responsibility, that is the ultimate risk taking, and second is the control, that is ultimate decision making. And so the entrepreneur who has to bear ultimately the risk and who has to take the ultimate decisions, then profit is the reward for these entrepreneurial abilities. As far as the other viewpoints are concerned, profit is also considered as the reward for innovation. And finally, profit is looked upon as the residual income effect. What is covered in residual income is the fact that when some enterprise is being run, then the entrepreneur enters into the contractual agreement with various agencies, and that means that the payment of the machines, payment of material, payment of labor, etc. is contracted for. After keeping in consideration all these expenses, what is remaining, that is the residual income, is considered as the profit. In this particular program, we are going to talk about some meanings of profit. We are also going to discuss the profit from different viewpoints. We are going to talk about the two theories of profit, and then we will be understanding the economic significance of this concept of profit. First, we talk about the meanings of profit. In the general sense, profit is that income which flows to the investors, because the investors have taken all the pains in setting up the enterprise. They have made arrangements for the whole business to be run in a smooth manner. Then what is the income that is coming to the enterprise is considered as the profit in its general sense. From the viewpoint of accountants, profit is excess of revenue over all paid out costs. So, that means that the basic notion of profit is equal to revenue minus cost, and that way we understand this concept of profit from the accountant's point of view. The economists look at profit as pure profit or the economic profit, which is a return over and above the opportunity cost, that is the income expected from the next best alternative use of his resources. The economist always looks at what are the other options of utilizing the money and enterprise. And so, they look at profit as the return over and above the next second best alternative use of resources. We have already discussed in earlier units the concept of total revenue, total cost, and the concept of profit is derived from the understanding of these two concepts. As far as the total revenue is concerned, it is the amount a firm receives for the sale of its output. The total cost is the market value of the inputs a firm uses in production, and the total profit is mathematically reflected in this formula as the total profit is equal to total revenue minus total costs. Now, we turn our attention to two theories of profit, namely the Clark's theory of profit and second one the Schumpeter theory of profit. First, we will discuss the Clark's theory of profit, which is also known as dynamic theory of profit, because the basic postulate of this theory is that if the environment is static, then profits will be less and routinized. Profits will increase only when there is dynamically changing environment. And so, Clark's is of the opinion that the profit occurs in the dynamic economy. In static economy, the firms will earn only the normal profit. What is the meaning of dynamic economy? Dynamic economy is one where there is increase in population, there is increase in capital, there is improvement in technology, there is increase in consumer demand. So, we can take one by one that where population is increasing, then the consumption will also increase, and as a result the demand will increase. The greater demand will result in greater production. Greater production will result in economization of cost, and as a result of which the profits will increase. As far as increase in capital is concerned, once more money is available, then better level of production facilities can be created, productivity can increase, and profits in the long run will also increase. Improvement in technology, we know that the technology is changing at a very fast pace, so much so that those business organizations which are not able to keep pace with the changing technology are generally forced to close down. Now, these technological improvements are also resulting in the production to become much more efficient, and as a result the wastivity of the production system is significantly reduced, significantly contributing to the greater profit being earned by the company. Similarly, the consumer lifestyle is changing, standard of living is increasing, their taste and preferences are changing, and as a result of which the increase in demand levels are also seen. According to this theory, profit is the difference between the price and the cost of production of the commodity. Price of commodity is reflected in the form of revenue earned by the organization, and the profit is nothing but the result of this dynamic change. Those managers who are efficient and those managers who are able to take advantage of these changes in the economy, they are able to make pure profits, they are able to make higher levels of profit. So, essentially the bottom line of earning more profit is that how efficient a manager of change you are, because you must realize as a student of economics that there is nothing permanent in this world. So, then we have to keep ourselves in state of readiness to understand, manage and master the changes which are taking place at each and every front of business. In a dynamic state of changing economy, we find 5 generic changes which are continually evolving. Number 1, population is increasing. Number 2, capital is increasing. Number 3, methods of production are improving because of subsequent developments in the field of technology. Number 4, the forms of industrial establishment are changing. Business processes are getting improved. More use of information technology are making business processes more efficient and effective. We have seen recently the banking industry getting the total new facelift from the use of information technology. The induction and introduction of ATMs has made the business transactions far more efficient. And lastly, the wants of consumers are multiplying because the earnings of the consumers are increasing, their income levels are increasing. As a result, they want a subsequent rise in their standard of living also. Apart from these 5 generic changes, there are 2 more areas in which changes are taking place. One is the innovation. Innovation will be based upon the creativity. Once the creativity is there, then innovation is bound to follow. And in innovation, we are trying to look at the newer ways of applications. As far as the external changes are concerned, the external environment exerts greater influence over the business organizations. As a result, that large number of changes are taking place in the external environment. These changes could be in the government policy, these changes could be in the form of changes in the regulatory framework of business. There can be changes in the level of competition, effect of various government economic policies on the business as a whole. All these changes are multiplying the complexities in the business. Now, we turn our attention to the second theory that we have to discuss. This is called the Schumpeters theory of profit. Now, Professor Schumpeter, a renowned economist, has attributed profit to the dynamic changes resulting from an innovation. He says that if innovation is there, then profit will be much more higher. He is of the opinion that if the business organizations are following innovative practices, then their profit levels will increase in a exponential manner. He has given this theory of innovation. He takes the viewpoint that basically the capitalists who are working in closed economy, they will remain in a stationary equilibrium, and then their growth prospects will be much less. Their ability to earn profit will also be much less. Now, basically, according to him, innovation is divided into two categories. First one is innovation which reduce the cost of production. Second is those innovation which increase the demand for product. Now, we can consider examples for both these categories. For example, if a new raw material is identified and that raw material is highly cost effective, and then this raw material is used in the production system. So, what the cost of production entrepreneur is getting now with the use of the new improved raw material are going to be significantly less than before, where the old raw material was being used, which was a very costly one. So, that is why the emphasis is placed on research and development. The business organizations must continuously invest in research and development, so that they can come out with such significant research findings, not only in the raw material stage, but also at the processing stage, wherein some innovations, sometimes indigenous innovations, which are popularly termed as jugaad, can also be used in production system to achieve significant reduction in cost of production. As far as innovation aimed at increasing demand for product are concerned, another viewpoint of innovation is that how we can look at newer applications of existing products. Number of examples can be given. Earlier we had a product called fire extinguisher, which was used in the industrial segment only, and this product, the basic technology was slightly improved, modified, and the whole product was relaunched as a consumer product under the name of Cease Fire. That is where the product is now marketed for the households, wherein kitchens its application is highlighted. Similarly, the same product is also relaunched as being used in moving vehicles, cars, buses, etc. So, this is one example of having the use of innovation in increasing the demand for the product. Sometimes these innovations may be temporary in nature, reason being that the environment is changing, and as a result, with the passage of time, more innovations may take place, and sometimes better and higher level of innovations may replace the earlier ones. Now, when we concentrate on this theory of profit, Schumpeter theory of profit, we see that if the economy is stationary, then there is equilibrium in all spheres. Here total receipts are is equal to total outlay, meaning thereby that the total cost and total revenue are equal to each other, resulting in no profit. So, in a stationary economy where the equilibrium sets in, then there is this problem of stagnation, and this problem of stagnation happens when we are seeing that this equilibrium is actually affecting the profit levels of the business. As far as the innovations in the production activity are concerned, I have given you number of examples. Large business houses are devoting significant amount of their profits on research and development related activities. You have seen the examples of pharmaceutical companies which are spending lot of money in developing new products and also trying to innovate the applications of some of the products in the new manner are taking place, and as a result the innovations are carried out in the production activity, as a result of which the profit starts coming in. At the next stage, supply of factors remaining the same. If such is the situation, then it leads to increase in the cost of factors. So, even when we might have innovated, but then the problem is that the supply of factor is remaining the same, as a result of which the factor is remaining the same, as a result of which the cost of factors, production factors, we are not able to achieve significant decrease in that. On the other hand, sometimes we find that this cost of factors is increasing. Similarly, we have also the innovation increases the supply of goods and services which bring down the prices. Now, this is where the innovations increase the supply of goods and services, and because of which the prices go down. So, what is happening is that on the one hand the cost of production is increasing, on the other hand if the supply of goods increases in the market, then also because of the competition the prices charged by the businesses are less, as a result of which the profits are not increasing, and because of this whatever the excess profit we were getting from innovation is actually wiped out. But then this innovation which is done in a regular manner, then as a result of which the economy reaches the higher state of equilibrium. What we were having in the beginning in the stationary economy, that was the lower level of equilibrium. With innovations and with interplay of production cost and the price that can be charged, as a result of which we reach to the next level of equilibrium, which is higher than the earlier level of equilibrium. So, Schumpeter's theory of profit says that the business houses have no other option, but they have to continually evolve and innovate. So, these two theories when we look at, then we realize that the profits are very important for the sustenance of business. And we should also keep in mind that profit is not a dirty word. Business houses are in business, they are going to remain in business for a long time only if their ventures are profitable. In recent times, we have come across the aspect of profit which is actually considered to be the main focal point of business. The equilibrium that was achieved in the previous slide in this circular flow, it continues to repeat itself over and over in such a way that in a static state there is perfectly competitive equilibrium. The price of each product just equals its cost of production and there is no profit. And only those exogenous factors can cause changes in the circular flow position. In the circular flow position, goods are being produced at a constant rate. It is the basic function of the entrepreneur who disturbs the channels of this circular flow by the introduction of an innovation. So, we have seen that Schumpeter has assigned greater role to innovation, and basically the entrepreneur should act as the entrepreneur, as the innovator, not as the capitalist. In this particular program, we have been talking about the concept of profit from different viewpoints. We have discussed two theories. First theory, that of Clark's theory of profit, which is focusing more on change management, and the basic postulate was that if the environment is changing more dynamically, then the business houses stand to gain more profits. The second theory we have discussed was the Schumpeter theory of profit, which focuses on innovation, and Schumpeter is of the opinion that business houses can earn profit only through innovation. Thank you very much.